Hello everybody, I'm the Deadly Tikka from Curry House Productions, and this is going to be the new series on my channel. The basic premise of the series is I show you what I pick up throughout the whole of the month, show it all off, and then every 3 months, so in other words an anime season, I'll show everything in my collection which will be behind me, which looks a bit empty at the moment, but that's because I have everything here by the side of me. So let's get started off with what I already had before I started collecting anime this month. To start off with, we have the legendary Akira movie. This is in fact a version from 2002, which my dad bought a long time ago, over 10 years ago. It comes with 2 DVDs. I'm not sure quite what's the difference between the two because I haven't watched it in a while, for one reason which you'll see later on. Akira is a great movie. This is actually a really nice box set. It's it's like a cardboard. It's got a nice cool design on it. Doesn't really make much sense in context to the series, but other than that, it's definitely a nice movie. One I would definitely recommend anyone to check out. But the problem with this box set, I wouldn't recommend buying it for this reason. As I said, it's made of card, so it gets worn very easily. As you can see here, we have creases down the side. But as I said, it's over 10 years old, so it's definitely seen its run of the mill. Moving on to our next series, we have Blood the Last Vampire. I don't know how long we've had this. I have watched it in the past, and it's actually the only movie on my anime list that I've watched and haven't ever gave like a slight rating because I cannot remember what happened in the series. I have watched Blood the Last Vampire, and I plan on watching Blood Sea, although I hear it's shit. But yeah, I've actually never watched this since I was old enough to really realise what's going on. I've tried to watch it, which is weird because it's only 45 minutes long, so I should have finished it. All in all, it's a weird movie. It's got this horrible art style, and it's really the first computerized animated movie that came out. I guess it's really a scapegoat for what we would look forward to in the future. The box to this isn't actually that bad. It's very simplistic. You've just got the main art on the front, which, meh. Then you got the back, which doesn't really have much on it. It actually has hardly any details about the show whatsoever. The inside, you get this little booklet, which just has one picture on it. Bit pointless, really. And then the insides of the DVD are plain white, as a lot of manga releases are. They don't put a lot of effort into their box. Moving on to the next one, we have one of my all-time favourite movies, Ninja Scroll. This is the 10-year anniversary version that comes with 2 editions, as you can now see, which I'll turn backwards. One is the 4.3 edition, so original aspect ratio, and the other is the 16:9. I've watched both, and I'm not one of those people that cry about something being cropped to 16.9, but the 4.3 definitely does look better, as you don't lose anything from the sides. You usually lose about 20-ish% of the screen when they crop it to 16:9. One thing I will note, don't go buying this series yet. Well, don't go buy the DVD. Go buy the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray is supposed to look beautiful. I'm looking to buy that in the near future, in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. And I'll keep this, obviously, but yeah, buy this on Blu-ray, definitely. It's a good-looking series. Movie that I really recommend. Moving on is, funnily enough, my only Studio Ghibli DVD now, because I used to have a lot more. I used to, in fact, have, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, and one more. I think it was Howl's Moving Castle, which I lent to family members and never see back again. But this is Porco Rosso. I actually recently watched this the other week with my younger brother and sister. My younger brother's quite into anime. We watched Death Note recently. We're watching Bleach and Cowboy Bebop now. He's into all of them. He's enjoyed them. And we look to make a series in the future in which we will review shows in a kind of an interview format where I'll ask him questions about the series and he'll answer. So with Porco Rosso, you get this very simple box, which, as I said, white on the inside, as a lot of our UK releases are, or black usually in the inside. The disc actually looks kind of cool. It's basically the same as what's on the front cover. Overall, great movie. One of the hidden gems, I would say, of Hayao Miyazaki's movies. it kind of goes unnoticed due to the greatness of Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away. It's a great fun series that you can watch with your siblings, family members, anyone. Inside you get what looks like, what is this? Chance to win 10 DVDs. So we never used this, unfortunately. Could have won 10 DVDs. And then you get this nice little booklet inside, which basically, I don't know if you can see it, has a list of eight Hayao Miyazaki movies. I think they're all Hayao Miyazaki. Yep, they are. That you could have bought. I looked to complete a whole collection of all of the Hayao Miyazaki Blu-ray DVD double plays because I think they look nice and it's something you should have in your collection. And then moving from something fun and cheerful like Porco Rosso, we move to the much more depressing and beautifully animated Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Now this is a movie we've had since 2004, so as I said, it's old, 10 years old, and frankly this is probably one of my favourite all-time anime movies. Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is a must-see. It is something anyone should watch and could watch. There are some scenes in it that maybe aren't suitable for some younger audiences, as labelled there by being 15, as we rate it like that in the UK. Inside, we don't actually... I don't know what this is. I've never really looked at it. Oh, it's just a booklet for all different animes that you could have bought. Oh, not all of it's anime. Some of it's live action. As you can tell, not really much to look at. And then on the inside, we actually... the clicker thing to push out the DVDs in this is very stiff and crap. So that's our disc. Very simplistic. Pretty much similar to what we have on the front, as a lot of DVDs are now, or were, because this is 2004. On the inside, we basically have more movies that came out around that time that are being sold. I don't think I've actually seen any of what they have on the inside here. Nope, none of it. So yep, that is all. Surprisingly, that's all I had in my collection. As I said, I used to have more, or my family used to have more because my dad bought most of these. But lending them to family members and friends has caused them to either come back destroyed or not come back at all. So moving on to what I bought this month, we start off with the reason I don't watch the Akira movie anymore, because I have the Akira Blu-ray. And what I'll say is this Blu-ray remastering is astonishing. I don't have, as this is the only Blu-ray anime I have, and it has taught me that Blu-ray anime is superb. I look to buy some more Blu-ray series and movies in the future. Movie I'm looking forward to buy is 5 centimeters per second and Garden of Words, because they look astonishing. And as you won't be able to see, I have a 40-inch HD TV sat right there, which I watch all of my anime on. So that's going to look astonishing. Yep, as I mentioned before, the Akira Blu-ray, beautiful. The Akira movie in itself is fantastic and I recommend to anyone. And overall, definite must buy, cheap as anything, you can pick it up. Under a tenner, I think I paid about £8 for it off Amazon. Released by Manga, so it's always a good release. Very simplistic again inside, although this time we get much better art on the inside. It's actually The Explosion by Akira. And then on the front we have the infamous bike scene, or bike image as we know, with Kaneda, or Kaneda as it goes in the series. So that's the Akira Blu-ray. I have watched that 4 times since I bought it, so that shows how good it is. Next up is one of my all-time favourite series, and when I see this for the price that I paid for it, which was £32, I couldn't not buy it. This is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood box set, the whole series. They come in these nice little slim packs. I was really surprised when I bought this. I was expecting them to be the fat DVDs, like that, like a normal one. As you can see, this takes up like two of the slim packs. So yeah, one thing I would like to point out is how horrible the boxing to this is. So I thought it was a chipboard boxing. It's not. It's just this like card horribleness. very let down by that. I was hoping to get a nice hard, as you can hear, I was hoping to get a nice hard chipboard box, but I was left with this. But anyway, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, one of the all-time great series, is 64 episodes. So as I said, £32, that's 50p an episode. That's great episode per money, if you want to call it that. For, as I said, one of the greatest, if not the greatest shonen of all time. You could watch this with anyone. It says it's a 15, and I guess that's for some of the things that happen in it, like trying to bring the dead back alive. But you could easily show this to a 10-year-old and they would love it. They probably wouldn't get some of the storylines, but they'd still love it. So, moving on to the next one. This is a kind of weird one. Well, not weird because it's one of my favourite all-time series. But the first season of Dragon Ball, and this is the US release of it, which is kind of strange considering I do UK anime news. But it comes in this nice little slipcover, which is probably the main reason I bought the US version over the UK version, is the box is just a whole lot nicer. When you complete the collection, you get, as you can see there, you got Shenron down the spine. If you take the slipcovers off, which I don't like, you have to take the slipcover off in order to see Shenron. And it should have been the other way around. But anyway, so you have the whole collection. It shows Shenron with Dragon Ball written across it. Same with Dragon Ball Z, and I'm not sure about GT. So I bought the US version of this for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love Dragon Ball. That's the first reason I bought it. The reason I went for the US release over the UK release was I wanted to see how long it would take to get here. I wanted to test out my Region 3 DVD player. And I knew if it didn't work, or I decided I was going to just go for the UK release, I could easily sell Dragon Ball. No other series really would sell quite as easily as this. So I went with it. Obviously, as it got shipped from America, it took about 20 days to get here. And you get a lot of anime for how much I paid. I paid 12 quid for this. Yep, 12 quid. And how many episodes do you get with that? It's a lot. I don't know how much it is. I think it's in the 30s. And I paid 12 quid. So once again, that's about 50p per episode. So that's a bargain. I've watched this twice now. I've had it for a matter of 20 days, less than that maybe. And I've watched it 2-3 times because of the marathon mode, so you don't have to watch the intro every time. This comes with the Japanese voices, so the Japanese dub, the English dub, the English music, and the Japanese music. It is one of the all-time great series. Dragon Ball is a series you cannot pass up. It's long, but you should sit down, watch as much of it as you can, and I bet you get addicted. Moving on to one of the more hard-to-find series I've bought. Neon Genesis Evangelion, and as you can probably tell, it's not all here. I have Collection 1, or 0.1, Collection 0.2, Collection 0.3, Collection 0.4, and Collection 0.6. Now, I could have bought all of these, but I had a problem on eBay. Somebody was selling them all separately. I bid on all of them. I lost the bids on the later ones because of some stupid eBay shit. But I've never watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I wanted to buy it on DVD so that I could watch it. I can obviously do some sneaky things and watch it online, but I wanted to actually own it, watch it, as it's such a legendary series. The problem I've come across though now is, as you might be able to tell, one of these is black. Racist. But basically what happened is these four, which is 0.1, 0.3, 0.4 and 0.6, are the Australian release by Madmen, as you can see there. The release by Madmen. I personally prefer the box to these. I prefer the way they look, the fact they come in clear cases, which I always think look better than the black cases like this. Racist again. And unfortunately, the only way I could get volume 0.2 was the UK release, which once again is weird because I do UK anime news and manga. But yeah, so that's how that ended up going. Unfortunately, I don't see myself being able to finish this collection in this format. So I will probably end up having to save up and buy one of their premium, probably the premium platinum edition, and look forward to that, and probably sell these one day. Neon Genesis Evangelion, a legendary series from the 90s that pretty much anyone should watch. Can't really say that because I haven't watched it myself. Moving on next is probably one of the hardest series to find right now. And that is, look, you can't tell from the side. It is Rurouni Kenshin season 1 and 2, the bento boxes. Yep, and that just happened. That's the reason I don't like these box sets. So, let me explain why I'm not a massive fan of these box sets. So this is season 1, Rurouni Kenshin, or as it's known as the Wandering Samurai. These are the premium box sets, so they are very nice and solid sounding. But unfortunately, the front just falls off. It's not, and then these fall out. And these are the most annoying. See, things are just falling out. It's a terrible box design. So let me just show you these quickly. These are what hold the DVDs instead of the usual slim packs that you would get in something like this. They are like card wallets that fold out and then they hold 2 DVDs in there. I guess they thought it was a cool idea, but in theory, it sounds cool. But in actuality, they don't really work. The problem with them is, as I just showed, you hold it upside down, the disc falls out. Do that with a DVD, nothing happens, it's fine. Another thing, I got this shipped to me. I didn't buy it in a store, it got shipped to me. It can easily get damaged in these card cases. They're kind of rubbing up against the back of the card and could cause scratches. Luckily enough, these are in great condition. We'll see. You can see my phone. Great series, Rurouni Kenshin. One of the all-time greats. And unfortunately, this DVD box set just lets it down for a couple of reasons. These are annoying. I hate these. And the video quality. I checked because I had a fear that these were bootleg. They turned out not to be, so that's good. But unfortunately, the quality of the video is awful. It looks like it's been ripped straight from a VHS. I asked other people about it. They said they had the same problem. It's just Kenshin. You cannot buy a good version of Kenshin anywhere. And that's one thing I want to say. Manga UK, any producer of anime in the UK, please get a hold of Rurouni Kenshin. Release a decent version. It doesn't even have to be at a reasonable price because I will pay upwards of £100 for this series. It is a fantastic series. And if somebody remasters it, which we might get with the new Kyoto arc that was recently released, hopefully that comes out and we can buy that, because I would buy that in a heartbeat. So, that's the end of all the anime that I bought this month. So, moving on to manga. And this. This is the biggest bargain I have ever got, ever. This is No Longer Human, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. So on Amazon, you'll pay about £8 to £10 on their regular sale, which is sold straight from Amazon. I got this for £3 a volume with £2 postage. Yeah, that's 15 quid for 3 volumes. And not just 15 quid for 3 volumes, but 15 quid for 3 volumes of potentially the greatest manga series of all time. No Longer Human is fantastic. I read this in a matter of 2 days, I think, and I was just reading it on the way to and from work on the bus. I felt kind of awkward reading it because it's incredibly dark. There is not a manga series that could probably match up to how dark this is. It involves a matter of suicide, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, womanizing, hallucinations, everything. It's one of the greats. And it's only 3 volumes long, so you can read it in a matter of days, in a day if you really rush through it. And it's dirt cheap, really. You can't not buy this series. If you enjoy anything dark, this is a 100% recommendation from the Deadly Tikka right now. Buy it. Now. Go buy it. Pause the video, go on Amazon, buy it. The book depository, it's like £3. You can't go wrong. So, that's No Longer Human. Buy it. Moving on, we have, and the final thing in my collection, the first 2 volumes of Soul Eater. Volume 1, Volume 2. And as you might notice, I've got what is really my bookmark inside because I was reading this today. It came about 2 days ago. Soul Eater, I've watched the anime to Soul Eater. I am buying the manga for one reason, because it has a different ending. That is really the main reason I read manga, is because I watch the series and then the anime has a different ending, or I hear the manga is better to the anime than the anime. Rurouni Kenshin is a classic example of that. Back in the days when I wasn't so legal about the way I watched or read anime and manga, I watched Rurouni Kenshin. I heard that ending that they give you on 62 episodes, I believe it is, isn't the correct ending. That's why we had, 30 episodes of filler afterwards. So I read the manga online. It's pretty damn good. I am going to buy it, the Viz Big version, which will set me back about 100 quid. But going back to Soul Eater. Soul Eater is a weird one for me. I really enjoyed the anime to Soul Eater. However, the manga is good, but the art style is vastly different, which is weird. Most manga, when they decide to shade a character's like shadows on their neck, they'll usually use stripes. They won't actually just shade it in. Soul Eater goes for that. They have what looks more like a digital appearance to me, and I'm not a massive fan of it. However, the series in itself, the storytelling of the characters, is really fun. The comedy sides of it are great. I literally just finished the scene where Death the Kid is fighting Black Star and Soul Eater, and Black Star and Soul Eater are doing the typical shonen, the power of friendship part, which had me crying with laughter on the bus and everyone staring at me. Yeah, that's that. So that's everything I bought this month. Let me know if you've bought anything really good recently, and if there's anything you would like me to buy. Also, look forward to next month's video that will be exactly like this. I'll basically show off everything I buy in the month of October, as September's just ending. And then at the end of November, you can look forward to the complete collection, which will be all on this bookshelf behind me. So, with that, see you later, chaps.